I got a 5 on the AP Calc exam, and here are 5 things I wish I knew before starting the school year. Hi, my name is Ethan. I've been a private tutor for 2 years now, and I started a YouTube channel so I could teach students tips and tricks that I wish were taught to me before I started the school year. The first thing you need to know is algebra. It may sound easy, going back to the basics, you just did it for the past 3 years. But you need to touch up on your algebra because algebra is in every single math problem you're going to do in calculus this year. You know, things like FOIL, like a plus b times a plus b. And you need to know this rule as well, a minus b times a plus b. Those ones are going to pop up like crazy. FOIL, simplifying fractions, combining like terms. Even in calculus, they're combining like terms. The second tip you need to remember is pre-calc. Come on, you guys just took this last year. You need to have your pre-calc knowledge down. You know, things like the unit circle. This is 0, 1. This is 1, 0. You need to know that cosine is the x direction. This is the cosine. And then sine is the y direction. Or I should put this comment. Sine is the y direction, like this. And it looks like this, cosine, sine. And that's where you are on the unit circle. You need to remember that. Another thing you need to remember is concavity and slopes. You need to remember that the slope of a line isn't just y equals mx plus b. It can also be y2 minus y1. Sorry, that goes in the bottom. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And concavity, that this is concave down, this concave up. It's pretty obvious, but it shows up a lot more than you think. And having these two things in your head will actually make calculus a lot easier. This equation is literally what calculus is. That's the definition of a derivative, basically. The third tip is time. I cannot begin to explain to you how many times I procrastinated into the last minute to do my math homework, and then it ended up taking me 3 hours, and I was up at 1 in the morning on a 12-question homework packet. Like, you need to make sure that you spend, or you allow, like 2 hours to do your calculus homework. And if your teacher's giving you like 15 to 20 questions, then that might take more than an hour and a half, 2 hours. The fourth tip I have for you guys is the first 3 units. So I'm just going to write 3 units. Do not throw away your notebooks. If you have any notes you took for a test, any sort of study guide or cheat sheet, do not throw it away because those 3 units will show up on the entire AP exam. For calculus A, B, and BC, the 3rd chapter shows up on the entire exam. So having a good set of notes and a good set of study guides, you know, keep them, don't throw them away. Even review them over winter break. That will save your grade a lot. And for the 5th and final tip, I know this is going to sound dumb, but actually pay attention and try in class because this class is very demanding. You know, it's one of the hardest AP classes that you can possibly take. I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I thought I was good at math until I got my first test grade back on basic derivatives, and I got a C on it. And I know that might not be bad for some people, but a C is pretty crazy. So I think my last tip is just lock in. Do the homework that the teachers assign. They have had students pass before and they know what works. And maybe if your teacher's not the greatest, still self-study because you can do it. And I think if I can do it, anybody can do it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like. Thank you.